Hey there guys, it's your good pal Wiggly, and welcome back to more Let's Play Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Blind. In the last episode, we finished up our final investigation period for the case, discovering a lot of information about the SL9 incident, and also discovering that Chief of Police Gant has been concealing evidence about the SL9 incident all along, and also that he may or may not be blackmailing Lana Skye into everything that's happened in this case. And in this episode, we're going to hopefully be piecing it all together in what I assume and what I hope is the final trial of the game. I guess there hypothetically could be more after this, but this feels like it's it. This feels like the big climax, the big finale. Let's go ahead and get into it. I'm so excited. Okay. February 25th, 9:47 a.m., District Court Defendant Lobby Number 2. This is the defendant lobby, alright, but there's no defendant. I've been trying to reach Lana all morning. Uh-oh. Is she ghosting us now that she told us to back off? And where's Emma, for that matter? Oh, and Emma never got... Uh-oh. I don't like that. I don't like that the last time we saw her, she was being held back by Gant. It almost seems as if something's been happening behind the scenes. Who is this? Edgeworth. Hey. Edgeworth. Knowing you, you've already figured it out. Who the owner of the 777777 ID number is, that is. Well, I have a pretty strong hunch. What a scumbag. Looks like I'm not the only one who figured it out. You know, the only reason this trial didn't reach a verdict yesterday is because there was still room for doubt regarding this ID record. If that number does belong to whom you suspect, then no doubt will remain. After all, he hasn't been officially charged with anything. True. Not yet. In any event, once all doubt has been removed from that list, I can call for a ruling. 5 minutes, Wright, and Chief Prosecutor Skye will be found guilty. Ugh. You're doing the Von Karma thing, really? But she didn't do it! I figured you'd say as much. That's why I came here to hear what you have to say. This is the first time he's ever done something like this. He's obviously, once again, very shaken up to his core. Don't make the wrong decision, man. We gotta fight for justice. That's the whole point of this. It's not always getting the defendant guilty. Man, you know this now. Lana's hiding something, and the only way we'll ever know the truth is to draw it out of her. The truth. Everything goes back to the SL9 incident. Don't be stupid. Today's the last day of the trial. We don't have time to reminisce about the past. Well, it sure helped with you, pal. Come on. That depends on you. If she's found guilty, you'll lose your only chance to find out what really happened. I'll think about it. Yeah, get him, Phoenix. See you in court, Wright. Ooh, okay. The tension is thick in the air. This is it. If I'm ever going to find out what happened to Chief Gant... I totally read that wrong. If I'm ever going to find out what Chief Gant has on her, it's now. Whew, okay. Let's get in the zone, baby. Come on. Court is now in session for the trial of Miss Lana Skye. The defense is ready, Your Honor. The prosecution is ready, Your Honor. Normally, this is when the prosecution puts forth its opening statement. Well, before that, the police chief has a proposal to make. Oh, of course he does. Chief Gant. Hey, guy. Morning, folks. How's everyone doing? Hey, you been back to the pool yet? No, I've been drowning enough as it is in my work. Oh, that's a good one. Don't think I can top that. If you don't mind me asking, Chief, exactly what is this proposal of yours? Lana, that is to say, the defendant, has asked me if she could speak directly to the court. You son of a bitch. What did you do? She wants to do what? Having heard what she intends to say, I feel she should be granted her request. Yeah, you know, I'm sure she thought of it. In the end, it should save everyone a lot of time and trouble. What? Lana, come on. What's this all about, defendant? I'd just like to make one simple request, and I'll be finished. Well then, what's your request? Your Honor, I'd like you to put an immediate end to this trial. No. Huh? I confess to all charges against me. On February 21st of this year, I murdered Detective Bruce Goodman. You literally told me otherwise yesterday. In the underground parking lot of the prosecutor's office. No, Lana! Oh, God. You can't. Your Honor, the defendant's claim does not change the defense's plea. In that case, Mr. Wright, I no longer require your services. Oh, God. Lana. Lana. No, Lana. But Lana... Your Honor, I hereby forfeit my right to an attorney. No, stop! The prosecution may lack direct evidence against me, but it has sufficiently proven its case through testimony and circumstantial evidence. I would like you to render your verdict now, if you please. Well, the defendant certainly has the right to self-representation. Her request is legally valid, although this is an unprecedented situation. What? Are you kidding me? Indeed, it appears there's no further need to continue this trial, even if Mr. Wright may feel otherwise. What the fuck? This can't be happening. What does Gant have on her? It appears the time for this verdict has arrived. This court finds the defendant... Objection! Edgeworth! Yes! One moment, Your Honor. Mr. Edgeworth? The prosecution has not yet proven the defendant guilty beyond reasonable doubt. Yes! Come on, Edgeworth, let's go! Any ruling at this stage would certainly be premature. Come now, Worthy. I understand this is a difficult time for you, but why don't you just be a good little boy and keep your mouth shut, I hate him so much. I don't think I care for your tone, Chief Gant. Let's go! What? Creating another fabrication to cover up your past mistakes? Sorry, but I'm no longer the naive little boy you would have me be. Wow. With this sudden confession from the defendant, it's obvious to me some kind of deal was struck behind the scenes. Some kind of deal? Not everyone operates as you do, Worthy. God. This smug prick. Ooh, I haven't been this heated in the whole game, man. I'm pissed. I thought so. Your Honor, the prosecution would like to change its first witness. Oh? To whom? As its first witness, the prosecution would like to call Miss Emma Skye. Why? I request the court hears her testimony. Mr. Edgeworth, I am exercising my right to self-representation. I don't think we need to continue. I don't care what you think, Miss Skye. The exposure of truth sometimes results in tragedy. However, no matter how tragic the truth may be, it would be an even greater tragedy to avert one's eyes from it. Very well, the court shall grant the prosecution's request. Edgeworth. Best character. Best character. Let's fucking go. That's okay with you, right, Chief Gant? Worthy. You'll live to regret this. Mark my words. No, I don't. Well, he'll live, but I don't think he's gonna regret it, man. Miss Emma Skye, please take to the stand. Looks like Edgeworth has decided to take the horse by the reins. Okay, baby. Lana, or Emma, I'm so sorry, I just called you the wrong name. Now then, witness, please state your name and occupation. My name is Emma Skye. My occupation, I'm Lana's little sister, and I want to be a scientific investigator. 2 years ago, you encountered the serial killer Joe Dark of the Joe Dark killings. Is this correct? Yes. I'm trying my hardest to forget about that, though. I'm sorry, but I'm afraid I'm going to have to ask you to recall those events one more time. Mr. Edgeworth, please remember this trial concerns the murder of Detective Goodman. It's very important, Judge. Is an incident that was resolved 2 years ago really all that relevant? Absolutely. Yes, it most certainly is.
Well, okay then.
He sure gave in fast. I mean, when both the prosecution and the defense are on the same side with something, I'm not sure exactly what Mr. Judge Man here is going to do. He's not exactly the most hard judge. He doesn't exactly have the biggest spine in the world.
Now, please testify about what happened to you 2 years ago.
The trip to yesteryear has finally begun. Okay. Right into SL9. It's bound to lead to the truth behind this trial. Alright. You can do this, Emma. What do you got? I was waiting in my sister's office that day. A man came running in and took me hostage. Neil Marshall rescued me, but I'll never forget what I saw in that instant. The man raised up his knife and stabbed Mr. Marshall in the chest. That's it? Emma.
It's a good thing you weren't harmed.
I passed out. I don't remember much.
That's understandable. However, please tell me, Mr. Edgeworth, what does this testimony have to do with Detective Goodman's murder? That will soon become apparent, Your Honor.
You've got to admire him for his courage, considering he has no evidence. He trusts, man. We're all swimming up in the quicksand right now.
Very well, this defense may begin its cross-examination.
All right, Emma.
Hold it!
2 years ago, the defendant was a detective at the police department, correct? Yes, she was second in command under then Deputy Chief of Police Gant. My sister, she was the best detective ever.
Yes, I remember. Deputy Chief Gant and Miss Skye used to be quite the pair. I believe they shared the same office.
That's right. I'd always sit at my sister's desk and dream about playing that organ. I wanted to play it that day, too.
The police department and the prosecutor's office held a ceremony that day.
Lana promised to take me to dinner after she finished her work. A man came running in and took me hostage. A man? Yes, Joe Dark. He was a serial killer.
Joe Dark was brought in for questioning on the day of that ceremony. We were desperate to get anything on him that would lead to an arrest. When he saw his chance, he fled the room, right? Upon fleeing the room, Dark proceeded to take the elevator. He must have been in a panic because the elevator was going up. Then he ran into Skye and Gant's office.
There was a lot of noise coming from outside, so I opened up the door to have a look. That's when I saw him. That's so awful. I feel so bad for Emma. Neil Marshall rescued me. What was the prosecutor doing there?
That day, there were 2 people present during Dark's questioning. Deputy Chief Damon Gant and Prosecutor Neil Marshall.
Almost forgot about Gant.
Neil Marshall had just received the King of Prosecutors Award. Young and dedicated, he went straight to the questioning room after the ceremony. I assume that would also be why he was the first to run after Dark.
When Dark grabbed me, I thought I was as good as dead. And that's when Prosecutor Marshall came running in. I don't clearly remember what happened then, but I'll never forget what I saw in that instant. What did you see? Can you tell us about that? Mr. Marshall jumped on Dark just then. The lights went out.
The lights?
It was just about this time of year. There was a terrible storm going on and lightning struck nearby. That's so crazy coincidental. So the electricity went out.
Wait a minute. If it was pitch dark in that room, you shouldn't have been able to see anything, right?
Right, but just then lightning flashed again outside. That sudden flash left an unforgettable image of the scene in my mind.
I see.
I told the detective about what I saw then. The detective? Yes, Detective Goodman. He was in charge of the case. Detective Bruce Goodman, the victim. We need to hear more. We still don't know why Goodman was killed exactly. I mean, I have a pretty strong theory about who and why, but we need to prove it. So you spoke with Detective Goodman about this 2 years ago. Yes, that's what's so scary about this trial.
And you told Detective Goodman about what you saw?
Yes, but at the time the words just wouldn't come out. That's why I drew a picture. A picture. Yes, I think she mentioned that before, and I think we have that picture, Phoenix.
Well, Mr. Wright, have you heard enough?
You need to ask about the picture. This picture the witness drew. I believe it has a very important meaning.
But the list of evidence I was given 2 years ago didn't contain a picture.
Yes, but your list of evidence is incomplete.
Witness, would you mind if we added this statement to your testimony?
Yes, Your Honor. I love it when this happens. I love when additional testimony dialogue gets added, because then we know that this is what we have to do stuff on. I drew a picture of that scene once, but it seems to have been lost. It has not been lost. You drew a picture of the scene you witnessed, right? Yes, I wanted to do everything I could to help the investigation. I can still see it now, whenever I close my eyes.
That's strange. I took over the case after Prosecutor Marshall died, yet I never received any picture. Perhaps the witness is mistaken.
No. But I did draw it, I swear. I'm just not imagining it. I'm not just imagining it. This picture that Emma drew, that reminds me. I guess I should check the evidence again.
Well, anyway, let's continue. The scene that imprinted an image on your mind. Can you please describe it to us?
The man raised up his knife and stabbed Mr. Marshall in the chest. That must have been a real shock. Even now, when I close my eyes, I can still see it just as clearly.
Tell us, what were you doing at that moment? I believe you testified that Joe Dark was holding you hostage.
When lightning struck and the lights went out, Mr. Marshall jumped on Dark. I was thrown aside and the two began wrestling each other. I'm pretty sure I was watching them. Emma doesn't have any reason to lie, but Lana sure does. Yeah, we just don't know what that reason is. I need to get Emma to tell me as much about this as she can. Okay. So, it seems to have been lost. No, ma'am, it has not. It's on the back of this, right? Correct? Yes. Okay. Here. Mr. Edgeworth. This little girl put all her heart into drawing that picture. And yet, you would insist on denying its existence?
Huh? Hey, I'm not the bad guy. All I'm saying is that, as the prosecutor for that case, I wasn't handed such a picture.
That may well be, but that doesn't mean it doesn't exist. Behold!
This is the evidence list for the SL9 incident.
Please turn it over, Your Honor.
Turn it over? Turn it... Ah! What's this?
Oh yeah.
Yes, what is that?
Hey, that's it! That's the picture I drew!
Indeed. Two men appear to be wrestling here. What's the meaning of this? What are you doing with that list?
Me?
Only the prosecutor in charge should have access to that list. Huh? These lists, they're different from each other. What? It would appear, Mr. Edgeworth, that the evidence list you were handed 2 years ago was incomplete.
I'm glad that you are going that route and not going the route of accusing me of forging evidence. Thank you. That could have been real messy if he went that route.
These two lists fit together to form one. You can see the marks here where they were torn apart from each other.
Well, okay, great. That works out fantastically then. So you see, Mr. Edgeworth, it's quite obvious what happened. 2 years ago, only half of the evidence list in that case ever reached you.
What? What? Order, order! But, Ms. Skye, why did you draw your picture on the back of such an important list?
Because that's what Detective Goodman handed me in the questioning room, Your Honor. Wait a minute. If this list was torn in half, then that means... Your Honor.
Are you all right, Mr. Wright? Your eyes are bulging from your head.
If the evidence list was torn in half, then there might be more of the drawing on the back of Mr. Edgeworth's list. Is there?
Yes, that's quite conceivable, Mr. Edgeworth. It's possible. Let's see.
You never looked at the back of your piece of paper? Are you kidding me, dude?
Is something wrong?
Do you even have to ask?
Sorry, Your Honor. There is indeed something drawn on the back of my list. It's that thing.
You gotta be fucking kidding me. Why?
That's that thing. That thing that was dancing in the evidence room.
Man. The fucking Blue Badger, baby.
Clearly, this act of vandalism is the work of a certain chief of detectives.
I guess he was out of scrap paper. Wow. Okay. Half of this list was found in Gant's desk. That's going to be important later. Okay, can we...
Very well, witness.
First, I want to see if we can actually read the evidence list. We can't even flip it over. I would love to read what was and wasn't omitted. That seems really important, but... Wow. Okay. Well... That's so goofy. Okay.
Will you please testify about this picture you drew 2 years ago?
Huh? Oh, yes, sir, Your Honor. Something that I noticed is that her memory is pretty foggy, and she didn't draw any details. We don't know for sure who is who. Maybe that's some just, like, residual case 4 stuff. Even though, like, we were shown a picture in a flashback of one person being in one spot and one person being in the other. It could be flipped. It's possible. But what would that mean? And actually, now that I think about it, we did see the bodies, didn't we? We saw the bodies, and the knife looked like it was plunged through both of them. And if I remember, Dark was on the bottom. Which, if this was the last moment before it happened, one person is certainly higher up, and it's not Dark. My gears are turning. My gears, they're running, baby. Whew, okay. What's wrong with Emma? She seemed to be thinking about something while she was looking at the picture. Okay, Emma, what do you got? This is the picture I drew 2 years ago. The flash of lightning was so bright, all I could see were shadows. After that, I must have fainted. This picture shows exactly what I saw in that instant.
To think a flash of lightning could burn such an image into your mind.
Emma, can you give us longer testimonies, please? Thanks to that, though, she was able to show us exactly what she saw.
Well, I don't see any contradictions here.
Well, it doesn't show exactly what you saw.
This clearly shows Joe Dark.
That's wrong, Judge.
This clearly shows Joe Dark about to murder prosecutor Neil Marshall. The defense may now begin its cross-examination.
Okay. This is the picture I drew 2 years ago. Did you draw this picture right after the incident? I think I drew it 2 or 3 days later. See, that's even messier. At first, I was in such a state of shock that I couldn't do anything.
During that time, the investigation team was reorganized. Detective Goodman was placed in charge, under the direction of Damon Gant and Lana Skye.
2 or 3 days later. The memory should still have been fresh in her mind.
Excuse me, witness. But can you please tell us why this picture is painted in all black?
Because you couldn't clearly make out who was who. The flash of lightning was so bright, all I could see were shadows. So at the time, you didn't even know it was Mr. Marshall who had come to your rescue. No, I couldn't see him clearly. There we go. We got it. I'm now operating under the assumption that Marshall was the one who was about to stab. Though I don't have a reason to think that, though. But the lightning was so bright, and I was knocked to the floor. My gears are turning too hard. Let's back up. Let's back up and focus on what we know. You were knocked to the floor. Dark had a tight grip on me, but when Mr. Marshall jumped on him, I was knocked away. I turned around, and that's when lightning flashed. Poor Emma. I'm just glad she wasn't hurt. I am too.
What happened after the lightning flashed?
After that, I must have fainted. You mean you didn't see the actual murder take place? No, I'm sorry.
The flash of lightning only drove off the darkness for a split second. Not only that, but the trauma of the situation understandably caused the witness to faint. Do you really need to torture this girl any further?
Yes. That's a terrible way to answer that, but we need the information, Edgeworth. And the fact that she had to cope before she could even tell anybody what happened also adds in a misremembrance possibility because she needed to, like, rationalize what happened. So she drew it 2 or 3 days later after trying to figure out what happened on her own. There's so many things wrong with this situation. What? Hey, I'm not the bad guy here. Anyway, this picture. This picture shows exactly what I saw in that instant. It doesn't. Sorry for asking so many questions, but are you sure you drew exactly what you saw? Of course, this is the exact scene. Then that's the issue, Emma. It wasn't influenced in any way from your talks with the detectives.
Are you insinuating we somehow manipulated her memory, Mr. Wright?
I'm not insinuating that you are. I'm insinuating that Gant might have. No, of course not. I'd better watch out, or he might find some way to cut my salary. I drew this picture before I heard anything from the detectives. Okay. So I don't think anyone's story would have influenced me.
Mr. Wright, is there something that's bothering you about this picture?
Yes. Huh? Oh, well... That's strange. She claims this is exactly the scene that was imprinted in her mind. And yet, there's clearly a contradiction here. Okay, this is the picture I drew 2 years ago. It shows exactly what I saw in that instant. Do I just present the picture on the picture? No, I don't. Oh, damn. Okay. It couldn't have... This couldn't be what you saw in that instant, but how do they... Or... If it is what you saw in that instant, it's possible that... Stabbed in the back. There we go. That's what we're looking for. I forgot about that. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but this picture the witness drew, then that... Okay. I'm convinced now. I'm convinced now that they are flipped here. So why was Marshall going to stab Dark? That's what we need to figure out now. Was it just to save Emma? Or... It contains a blatant contradiction. What? But I still remember it like it was just yesterday.
Mr. Wright, perhaps it would be faster if you simply pointed out this contradiction for us.
Yeah, instead of just saying, it does.
What part of this picture contradicts the autopsy report?
This? He's facing forward? I think it's, this part here.
I don't see what's so strange about that.
That's because the drawing stinks. Mr. Wright, how could you? Oh my god.
Oh my god. The act of making an innocent girl cry should warrant the death penalty.
I guess he means I shouldn't shift the blame to others.
Yes, well, so long as the defense has learned his lesson.
I better take another look at that autopsy report in this picture.
Mr. Wright, perhaps it would be
okay. Is it this? The contradiction, of course, lies here. Take a look at the knife the man is holding. Okay, I need to think a little more. I thought I had to present the dude on the ground because he was facing forward, but I guess you can't really stab somebody in the back. I'm on the right track. I'm just being sloppy. Take a look at the knife the man is holding. If you look closely, you can see its tip is broken. Wait, really? Is that what that's supposed to...
Even I don't have to look closely to see that, Mr. Wright.
But Mr. Wright, look at the evidence. See the murder weapon? Its tip is broken too. Okay, are we going to talk about the trophy now?
If I recall, the tip of the knife was found broken off in the victim's body.
Okay, then that's extra weird. It was the conclusive piece of evidence that proved Joe Dark was the murderer. It says stabbed in the back, though. Okay. I mean, I guess I made it there anyway, even though I was not thinking the way the game wanted me to. I'm afraid it's not so simple, Emma.
And where, pray tell, could you possibly see a problem?
It's obvious, really. The victim suffered a single stab wound to the back. If the victim was only stabbed once, then the murder weapon should not yet be broken. Exactly, that's true.
Oh, what's the meaning of this? Perhaps the knife was broken beforehand.
Sorry, but I'm afraid that's not possible. The tip of the knife was found inside the victim's body. If it was broken beforehand, it couldn't possibly wind up there. Then who put it in there?
That's right, but what does this mean? The tip of the knife was undeniably discovered within the victim's body. The only possible explanation is the witness's memory is mistaken.
That's why I asked her so many times if she was sure she remembered correctly. I believe you were annoyed at the time, but she was sure she remembered correctly.
But there's no other way to explain this inconsistency.
Not yet. We'll figure it out. Not so fast, Mr. Edgeworth. There's another explanation. Have you forgotten already? About a little something called falsified evidence. Woohoo!
You're treading on thin ice, right?
All I'm saying is that this broken knife tip might be the piece of evidence that was forged. You can't deny the possibility.
No.
Ugh. You were brought in too late into that case to be completely in the loop on everything, man. I think we've already proved that with the evidence list. Can we please see the full evidence list?
Order, order, order! Are you saying the investigation really was corrupted?
Your Honor, please allow me to once again go over the events that took place the day of the murder. The police department and the prosecutor's office were holding a ceremony that day. After receiving the King of Prosecutors Award at the ceremony, Neil Marshall questioned Joe Dark along with Damon Gant. I think I know what he was attacking. Interesting. I think I know what he was attacking Joe Dark with. And that's why they had to break a knife and implant. Okay. Got it. During his questioning, Joe Dark fled the room. Prosecutor Marshall chased after him and was killed by Dark. It is my belief that somewhere in this story, there is a lie. I'm not lying. The man really was holding up a broken knife. I'm sure he was, Emma.
If that's true, then there's no other way around it. This could not have been the actual murder weapon. There must have been another broken knife.
We got it. I got it.
What are the chances of there being two broken knives?
Pretty good, actually. Another broken knife besides Joe Dark's. Could there have been one? There is another one. It's technically not broken, but... well, it's broken by design. If the witness is this adamant about the accuracy of what she saw, it can't just be explained away by a simple observational error. Mr. Wright. In that instant, Emma really did see a broken knife.
I assume, then, that you have some information about this other broken knife. If so, please feel free to enlighten us.
The murder weapon was already broken prior to the murder. There's only one way. Take a look at this. Here's the real murder weapon. Cha-ching!
If anything's broken here, it's you.
Huh?
I'm sure this must all be very amusing to you, Mr. Wright. But I may...
What do you mean? That's what it is! What?
But may I remind you that the fate of Miss Lana Skye hangs in the balance?
Sorry, Your Honor. Please give me another chance. What? Here's the real murder weapon. Okay. What is going on with this screwdriver? Okay. The answer lies in the past. 2 years in the past. Okay, it's the picture, not the trophy. That's kind of BS. I kind of feel like I should have been given the okay for that one. I don't know, man. Right here inside this picture, like I couldn't just explain that with the picture of the trophy in the past instead of just immediately being penalized. I feel kind of icky about that one. This is a picture of the awards ceremony.
What is it, Mr. Edgeworth? It's the broken murder weapon.
Notice the award Prosecutor Marshall is holding. That's a broken knife. As we earlier concluded, the knife in the drawing was not Joe Dark's knife. Okay. But then how is he stabbed in the back if Emma did see this and Marshall is the one standing tall? I just realized that I kind of contradicted myself there. That being the case, the knife the witness saw was in all likelihood from this award. Okay.
Order, order, order.
Neil Marshall was awarded the King of Prosecutors that day. As an award, he was given this broken shield and knife. When he chased after Joe Dark, he pulled out this knife. Being a prosecutor, he did not carry a pistol. This broken knife was the only weapon he had in this dangerous situation. Interesting.
But that can't be.
Oh, and why not, Mr. Edgeworth?
Because if the King of Prosecutors award knife was the murder weapon, then the murderer would be the victim. The murderer and the victim would be reversed.
What do you mean?
I mean, this man raising a knife would have been Prosecutor Neil Marshall. I figured that out a bit ago.
Oh.
Oh! But the prosecutor was the one who actually died.
That's true. What's going on here?
It seems Mr. Wright has been a bit too eager to jump to conclusions.
Wait, I remember now. I remember everything. Please tell us, Emma, please.
Witness.
Mr. Edgeworth.
What is it?
Could you show me your evidence list again, please?
His list? The one with that picture scribbled on the back.
What does the blue badger have to do with this? I knew it. This picture. I'm the one who drew it. What? How? What? Wasn't the blue badger only invented, like, very recently? Like, sooner than 2 years ago? What do you mean?
What?
You drew that? That's right. The list wasn't torn in half at the time I drew this picture. What is going on? All this time I've been trying so hard to forget. I must have locked this part away deep inside me.
Perhaps it would be best if we added this to the witness's testimony.
I guess so?
Would you please tell us what you've recalled, Miss Skye?
Yes, Your Honor. First the knife mix-up, and now the blue badger. This should be interesting. Oh, God. When I saw that man raise his knife, I panicked and I rushed toward both of them. I think I knocked away the man with the knife. Okay. Just then there was another flash of lightning, and that's when I saw the blue badger. He wasn't in the room, but I'm sure I saw his shadow. What? What do you mean? What does that mean?
This is certainly most unusual. Try impossible. The chief of detectives hadn't even designed him until this year. I think that's a typo. Yeah, okay, I was right. What? That would mean he didn't even exist 2 years ago. Yes, well, the defense may begin its cross-examination.
Stop. Please, don't pursue this any further. Hold on, Lana. Real quick. Ooh, ooh. Does that look kind of like it? Does it? I can't... Kinda? I don't know if I'm right on that. That feels... Is it the pot? Because it has the weird handles. I don't know. No. Lana.
What's the meaning of this? Please remain seated in the defendant's chair.
But you can't do this. I've already confessed to the crime. Why can't you just leave it at that?
Chief Prosecutor Skye. We've already come this far. It's too late to turn back. Silence. The defense will now begin its cross-examination. Bailiff, please detain the defendant.
It seems we're finally getting to the core of the matter. Alright. I'm surprised this is allowed. I'm surprised it's allowed for us to fudge it this far, but okay. When I saw that man raise his knife. When you say that man, I assume you refer to Joe Dark? Yes, at least I think that was him. You think. All I could really see were shadows.
The power outage that immediately preceded the incident is also documented in the prosecutor's office reports. So then, you...
I panicked and rushed toward both of them. Why would you do something so dangerous? What else could I have done? He was about to stab Mr. Marshall. She seems convinced that Dark was the one holding the knife.
But as we've just theorized, Mr. Marshall was the one holding the knife.
Well, I didn't know that at the time. When that dark guy knocked me down, all I could think was, I've got to help that other person. Okay. I think I knocked away the man with the knife. Okay. Oh, that would explain... Is this clothing? Oh, is this part of his vest? Ooh, that's a yikes piece of evidence if that's what that is. Ooh, okay. Don't like that. Let me just run back through here and see everything we have. This is the only thing that looks even remotely like the Blue Badger at all. Even then, it really doesn't look like the Blue Badger much at all. But, hold on. The handles... I don't know. I don't know, am I delusional? What do you mean, you think? It all happened so fast, and I was in shock. I don't remember everything clearly. What I did, it's all kind of a blur.
Miss Sky was almost killed before she was a witness to witness to a murder about to take place. With so much happening in a matter of seconds, a little disorientation is only natural.
I saw the man about to stab the other person, who I thought was Mr. Marshall. I knew I had to stop the man with the knife.
What you did was very brave, young girl. So then, what happened next?
Just then there was another flash of lightning, and that's when I saw the blue badger. What do you mean? What? Are you sure about this? Of course. See? I even drew a picture of him here.
But it was the chief of detectives who thought up this hideous beast. And that was just this year. The blue badger didn't exist 2 years ago. This is all quite verifiable.
I know it sounds strange. I was surprised too when I saw him at the police department. I had this nagging feeling that I'd seen him before somewhere. Now I finally remember. Oh, brother. Just when you thought that thing had caused enough commotion, for real.
Tell us, where in the room did you see him dancing?
He wasn't in the room, but I'm sure I saw his shadow. What? I'm so confused. His shadow. So you mean you didn't actually see his face with its winning smile and all? That's right, but I still remember it. It had 3 creepy horns.
This is pointless. That thing couldn't have possibly existed 2 years ago. The witness must be mistaken.
That may well be. But what's important is what caused her to think she saw what she did.
Oh, and I suppose you have an explanation. If so, then by all means, please tell us what this shadow really was.
What was it Emma saw when lightning flashed? Who is this blue badger, really? Is it the pot? I'm so unsure about this. I just might know. The blue badger hadn't even been dreamt up when Emma drew this picture. Yet she's certain she saw its shadow. Ladies and gentlemen, it is the defense's belief that on that fateful day 2 years ago, there indeed was something that looked similar to the blue badger. Something that is now sitting in this very room. Mr. Wright.
In this room? Very well, Mr. Wright. What is it that the witness saw in that instant? Please show—
Oh, God. This is the only thing that makes sense is the pot. But it doesn't even exactly look like it. Please? The mysterious blue badger was in fact— Oh my God! Ah! I was so unsure. Oh my God. Okay. Whew. That was stressful. Okay. The mysterious blue badger was in fact this.
But that's... what exactly is that?
I believe it's some sort of jar. But Mr. Wright, that doesn't look anything like the blue badger. That's what I'm saying. But for some reason I still associated it because of the weird handles. Indeed it doesn't. As it stands now, it's just a plain jar. However, what if we were to change our viewpoint? Our viewpoint? I've got to show them the correct angle to look at this from.
Is it...
Oh. From the bottom? Ah. Okay, we gotta flip it. Okay, there we go. I also just noticed I have the rotate left, rotate right thing. Is that right? This isn't right. I've got to make it look— Oh, God.
Allow me to remind the defense, its case hinges on the witness's drawing. If Mr. Wright can't match the shape the witness drew, we cannot accept his claim.
Please don't penalize me. I've got to find just the right angle. Maybe I should rotate it vertically a bit more or horizontally. Come on, Mr. Wright, you can do it. I've got to show them the correct angle to look at this from. How do I... So it's not like this. Oh no. I'm so dumb. Oh! We got it. It's like this. What? What do you mean? It looked... What?
Objection!
What? Come on. Okay, thank God I can't be penalized for this at least. Oh my God. Come on. Like this? Oh my God. Come on, dude. What am I doing wrong? Okay. 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 Like this? Oh, we got it. That's so picky. I'm gonna have to look... I'm gonna have to look at how off I was, because it didn't feel like I was that far off. What the hell? Well, is this a miracle or what? Wow. No one can possibly deny this jar's resemblance to the blue badger. That... man. I didn't even think about, like, rotating it. No, it can't be. I'm surprised my brain made that connection. That's a 1 in a million. Good God. Order, order. The defense has proven its claim. The mysterious blue badger witnessed on the day of the crime was actually this. Although we all enjoyed Mr. Wright's dramatic performance, one question remains. What's your point? What do you mean? So that badger thing was actually just a jar. That doesn't change anything. I'm afraid that's where you're wrong, Mr. Edgeworth. You see, this changes everything. Indeed. Very well then, please tell us, what's different now that we know the witness saw this jar? Well, the location is different, right? Because the pot is... Oh! Wait a minute. The pot is over on the east side. We don't know if it's east. The right side, if you're going in from the door. It's on the right side of the room, near the window, right? Near Gant's desk, not Lana's desk, which is what we've been operating under the assumption of. Oh God. Oh God. If it happened over here, and Emma pushed... Oh no. Did Emma No. Did Emma kill Marshall? I fucking hope not. In the back, too. Did she push Marshall onto this statue? There's gotta be a reason this statue is included so weirdly in this photo. Right next to the jar. I don't like that. And is that what this evidence is? Is that what... Oh my God, is that what Gant is holding over Lana? Oh no. What did we get ourselves into? Oh my fucking God, no. Oh God. What are we gonna do about this? Well, we have to get to the truth, right? Oh no. Allow me to take these in turn. At the moment of the murder, the witness saw this jar.
At a very specific angle, I might add, Mr. Wright.
Yes, well, knowing this, where could she have seen this jar?
Where?
The location of the jar is shown as a picture taken on the day of the crime. I don't like this. It's on a shelf in the office of Damon Gant.
Well, the body was found lying near Lana Sky's desk. The witness testified so herself.
So then did somebody move the body? Why would they have? And who? Yes, and it is these two facts that reveal what actually transpired. You see, the struggle between Dark and Marshall did not take place in Lana Sky's office. I can't shake this. What I just thought of makes too much sense. It happened on the other side of the room in Chief Gant's office. But how did the body... Oh no.
Are you implying the murderer moved the victim's body from Damon Gant's office to Lana Sky's office?
Yes.
Why would he do that? There's no reason.
Exactly. If there wasn't a reason, he wouldn't have gone through the trouble. The only logical conclusion is that there was a reason.
Do you know what that reason was, Mr. Wright?
I finally figured it out. So this is why Lana tried to stop the trial. Oh no, I was right! It's too late to quit now, though. Oh no. I hate this. Please recall the witness's testimony. That's so sad. Oh no, Emma. Yeah, sorry. I'm a wreck. That sucks. That's so sad. She said she knocked away the man who was holding up the knife. In the next instant, the jar was hit and flew through the air. Now tell me, what could have sent the jar flying?
That would have to have been the impact the man made when he was knocked into the wall.
Ladies and gentlemen, if I may draw your attention to this picture once more. If the man was knocked in the direction of the shelf the jar was sitting on, what would he have hit?
The suit of armor, holding a very sharp and dangerous-looking sword.
Yes. And since the man who was knocked into the armor was carrying a broken knife, he would have had to have been Neil Marshall, wielding the prosecutor's trophy.
No. Mr. Wright, you can't be thinking...
Yes. There is another possibility of what actually transpired in that room.
Another possibility?
Of course, the perpetrator would have had no idea, but nevertheless. I don't know if I can go through with this. I don't either, Phoenix.
Mr. Wright, what's the matter? If events took place as the defense theorizes, then the outcome is obvious. In that moment, assuming the man Emma Sky knocked away was actually prosecutor Neil Marshall.
Oh, God. Emma. No. Don't do this. You mean Mr. Marshall died because of me? No. Oh. Emma. Oh. That's so sad.
I never imagined her testimony would lead to this. So it was the witness who took the victim's life, and then proved it so with her own testimony. This is unprecedented.
And there's so many pieces of evidence to it. What are you saying? I'm sorry, Miss Sky, but given the circumstances, Joe Dark murdered Prosecutor Marshall. How can you think it was Emma? How dare you try to pin the crime on her?
Imagine that coming from you. If you recall, it was you who admitted to forging evidence 2 years ago. The reason you moved Prosecutor Marshall's body was to keep anyone else from finding out about what Emma did, wasn't it?
I assure you, Mr. Edgeworth, I have no idea what you're talking about. If you hope to have anyone believe your insane allegations, I'm afraid you're going to have proof. I do. Oh, God. Tell me, do you have any conclusive evidence that proves my sister killed Neil Marshall? Evidence? I'm willing to bet you don't.
Yes, it certainly would be difficult to prove this with evidence. If we don't have evidence, then we'll have to rely on testimony.
I'm afraid that won't work in this case. Both parties involved in the incident are dead. We certainly can't get dead people to testify. Yeah. This has all been a wild goose chase from the beginning. This is awful, dude.
Touché, Miss Skye. Of course, that only leaves us with one possibility.
You mean there's still another possibility? We need a testimony. We need a testimony from Lana, because she was the first to arrive at the scene. And if she moved the body to try to save Emma. Oh no. And that's also why she... Really, man. So, what I'm guessing is Lana came in and saw Joe Dark unconscious, saw Neil Marshall hung up on the armor, and saw Emma on the ground. She must have somehow realized that Emma killed Marshall, and then moved the body to the floor and broken off the tip of the knife and put it in Marshall's body in an attempt to save her sister. That sucks, and that explains why she's been so cold and why the years of guilt that would... God damn. And then Gant stumbled in next, probably, and found that whole thing, and was like, you know, I'll help you do this, but you gotta do shit with me, and... Fucking dickhead.
What do you mean, Mr. Edgeworth? I mean the possibility that the victim has left us a message. For better or worse, Mr. Marshall did not die instantly. He may have left behind the name of the person who took his life. In one manner or another.
That's impossible. What?
Well, Mr. Wright, this is the only possibility left to you. A message from the deceased. Does such a message exist?
I've got to think back to the court record. What do you mean? A message from Neil Marshall. Not that. No. I still don't know what the hell is up with this screwdriver. No. Why is this glove in evidence for SL9? What was this glove for? Not that. Oh, there's the weird marking on the jar. The real murderer's name that the victim may have left behind is in the evidence. This message from the deceased is already in our possession. Mr. Wright, will you stop at nothing to prove my sister a murderer? Oh my god, this is... I hate this.
Do not be mistaken, Miss Skye. Our purpose is not to accuse Emma of any crime. There's only one thing we seek. The truth. You're right, Edgeworth. At any cost. No matter how painful it may be. That's our job. Emotions too involved. We have to do this. Now then, Mr. Wright, please show us the piece of evidence that conveys a message from the deceased. It must be... This is the message left by the deceased. This is that blue badger from before, right? Oh, is he going to just speak the killer's name? If that thing could, I'm sure it would. Looks like everyone's forgotten this is just a jar. A message was left here, on the surface of this jar. Wait a minute, though. What? Hold on. Wasn't the jar broken... Wait, that doesn't make any sense. If Emma pushed... What? Okay. Contradiction. If Emma pushed Marshall into the statue, and that knocked the jar over, and the jar broke, which it did, how the hell would Marshall have written the name on the jar unless the jar was intact when it hit the ground? Marshall wrote the name, but how could he have done it hanging on the... That doesn't make any sense. This is fishy and weird. What do you mean? If you look closely, you can see a faint trail of blood on this jar. It looks like someone wiped the blood away. Yes, but notice, for some reason, the blood on some of the fragments was not wiped away. Yes, there's a line here, drawn in blood. So what you're saying is these dots were once lines. Prosecutor Marshall did not die instantly. He used the few precious moments left to him to leave behind a message. One that someone apparently wiped away. But blood must have seeped into the jar where the lines changed directions. Precisely so. All we need to do is connect these points. And the victim's message will become apparent. No. Oh, God. Mr. Wright, what kind of message did the victim leave for us? Okay, if this jar... I see it! Oh my God. Hold on. I see an A on the right, and I see an M, and that's definitely an E. Oh no. Okay. That's weird. I don't want to believe Emma did it. There's another person who has a motive for doing this. And if he did this, I'm going to be so fucking mad at him. Holy shit. I believe these bloodstains will reveal to us the answer. I've got to connect these dots to make letters. This is a fucking roller coaster, dude. We're only in the first half of this trial, too. There's only one thing the victim would have written given the circumstances. His murderer's name. Okay, it definitely says Emma. Like this. There's the M. Here's the E. Okay. Look, dude. All I'm gonna say right now. Hold on, just give me a minute. It's very clearly an Emma. Nope. Okay. Real quick. Here's my operating theory. Gant left 2 pieces of evidence in that fucking locker. Okay. Those 2 pieces of evidence were a piece of cloth with fingerprints of Emma Skye on them, and a jar that we now know, or the piece of the jar that would let you know that it says Emma on it. We know that Gant
has a tendency to fabricate evidence. When this whole thing was over, he ascended to chief of police and promoted Lana Skye to chief prosecutor and has been blackmailing her, presumably with this. And he hid the other half of the evidence. Why would he have done that? I choose to believe that Gant forged these two pieces of evidence. But that also doesn't explain how Emma saw the jar unbroken. Wait, that's still weird. But Gant fucking kept these in a locker as like... He kept them in the locker because they were the things keeping him in power. It's fucking weird. I'm determined to pin this on Gant and not Emma. It's gotta be him. Come on.
Take that!
Sorry for all the talking. My brain is just working. This is such a complex case. It's a defense attorney's duty to prove their client's innocence. That's why all I've been thinking about is saving Lana. After all my efforts, I never thought it would turn out like this. Ugh. Emma.
So this is the final message Prosecutor Marshall left behind.
But it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense at all. Come on, guys. Come on.
Of all people, she may not have meant it, but in the end, the one who took the victim's life
was Emma Skye.
See, Worthy. Can't say I didn't warn you.
You son of a bitch. You did it. I know you did.
Chief Gant, do you understand the implications of what you've done? What? What are you talking about? 2 years ago, Joe Dark was sentenced to death. He was convicted because of his final murder. I believe you were the prosecutor in the case, were you not? Yes, Worthy. Because of you, an innocent man was sentenced to death.
Oh, God. Did he not kill, like, the people where he, like, crashed the car and then killed, like, 3 or 4 other people and buried them or whatever?
Not only that, but you used forged evidence to ensure his conviction.
But Joe Dark really was a serial murderer. That's undeniable. Unless Gant's a serial murderer.
I'm afraid that's not important.
Okay. Yeah, dude.
Didn't you know? We aren't defenders of justice.
What?
We're merely keepers of the law. Sentencing a man to death is no light matter, even if there wasn't any cover-up or evidence forgery. Ultimately, the responsibility falls on the prosecutor in charge.
You're such a fucking asshole. I hate you so much.
Despite what anyone may say, this fact cannot be denied.
Oh my God. What's going on at the prosecutor's office? They might have sent an innocent man to death. How can he just stand there like it wasn't his fault?
Order, 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 order!
Good God. The gavel's pounding fell on deaf ears. Unable to settle the crowd, the judge declared a recess. Where this trial is headed, no one knows. I've got one path left, man. I've got to pin this on him. Oh my God. I don't even know how I feel, man. I'm gonna have to record another episode right goddamn now. I can't leave this hanging. All right. Thank you all for watching this episode of Let's Play Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Blind. I've been Guildmaster Wiggly. If you enjoyed the video, please consider giving it a like. If you are new, consider subscribing. If you want to follow my Twitch, Twitter, or join my Discord, they're in the description. And I hope to see you guys next time when Emma didn't kill him, man. She didn't.